Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today we're talking about Superman and Lois episode 8. Once again, another great episode with some new stuff in this episode, and we got the long-awaited cameo of Tom Cavanagh. Now, if you don't know, Tom Cavanagh is famous for the part of Reverse Flash in the Arrowverse, and we didn't know because he had announced it at a Comic-Con way back at one of, I think it was a fan expo, where he was going to have a cameo appearance in this season, and we all speculated, it could be him coming back as some Arrowverse character, some version of Harrison Wells or the Reverse Flash, or something having to do with that Arrowverse, but they decided to take it another direction and make him a new character altogether. It's another character that's deeply rooted within the DC universe, and one we haven't seen before, I don't think, not recently anyways. And so he came on, did his thing, and so it kind of opens other doors, but at the same time, I mean, we know we're at the point now. We only have 2 episodes left of this show, and then the superhero era of the CW is over. There's nothing else planned as far as I know with that channel. I'm pretty sure that channel is just done as far as that type of content. So he came in to play the part of Gordon Godfrey. Now, Gordon Godfrey is someone that is within the DC universe, and from what I looked up about him and everything, he is someone that does have abilities, so I don't know if they're going to take it that route or if he's even going to appear in any of the episodes as far as what he does, because he plays a TV news reporter or a journalist, someone that is very famous and very well known for what he does. This is the guy who actually interviews Lex in this episode, because Lex wants to go on to kind of give his side of the story, to do what he does best, which is manipulate everybody around him, manipulate the public, and try to get everybody on his side, try to get everybody against Lois at the same time, because that's his main goal there, is to make Lois look bad for her take on journalism now that it's out in the world. That's the whole reason she was able to get all these exclusives and all these personal interviews with Superman and be the one to tackle all these stories, is because, well, he's her husband. So they kind of want to tack onto that and just make it seem like she was doing things unfairly as far as being the first one to get these stories, or like I mentioned, get exclusives and whatnot, where she has this personal access to this large icon. So to basically make everyone question her professionalism or her credibility as far as being a journalist. So they have this big setup where they want Lex to be interviewed, and they invite Lois, or kind of threaten her in a sense, or taunt her to come on and give her side of the story. And of course, Lois, being who she is, she couldn't turn this down. She had to, put her foot down, make her presence known, and she goes to this interview, and of course it doesn't go how she wants it to, because the whole fight scene between Lex and Clark, when he has him on the street with those simulated red sun lamps, where it dims his powers and everything, they play that on the air just to make Clark look bad, to make Superman look bad. And so it was an interesting take on it, and it's just, another way for Lex to get the upper hand, to change people's opinions about him, and just make himself look good all around. Because not only will it make him look good, it'll make his company look good, and therefore he'll get more money and just more power, and just that's who he is. He's very power hungry. And it's all about making Lois look bad, making people doubt her credibility as a journalist, and just bring her down and make her pay for the things that she did, particularly the 17 years that he lost in prison after he was falsely accused. I mean, granted, this is the one thing he didn't actually end up doing. So this is all about him just getting his final revenge, doing anything he can to make her look bad, at the same time make Superman look bad. And at the same time, we had this big reveal in this episode, something I have been kind of noticing throughout the the first handful of episodes that we got, something I believe that they were hinting at, and it was confirmed in this episode. But along with everything that's going on with Lois and this interview with Lex and just trying to make her look bad, we have the discovery that Clark is in fact losing his powers because of the human heart that's in his chest and the effects it's taking on his body, and it's making him human. And these are all kind of confirmed with tests that John Henry Irons runs on him, seeing that's the reason he's not hearing as well as he used to, is because his ear canals, are just parts of his hearing ability have diminished, along with the fact that he's now graying and he's not as strong as he used to be. He can't bounce back from injuries like he could. This is all coming down to the fact, because he has a human heart, he is actually turning human, and little by little he's losing his abilities every day, and it's one day he's going to wake up, he's going to be human, and he's going to die like a human. So it's very tragic in a sense that this is the way he's going to go out. But I kind of called it there with how they were alluding to that, with how these complications were going to come up with him having a human heart now, and how it was going to change him forever, and his boys are going to have to step up and take the responsibility of being the defenders of the world, and how they're going to adapt to that, and just what they plan to do with only 2 episodes left, how they're going to put that into the story. And I think we got our answer, because along with this episode, with the reveal of Tom Cavanaugh playing his part, but a kind of completely unrelated threat other than journalistic, unless they plan to include those different aspects of his DC counterpart, is that we have the introduction of Milton Fine, aka Brainiac. Now, I don't know if they're going to confirm him to actually be Brainiac, and if you aren't familiar, Brainiac is actually Kryptonian technology. He's an alien himself. And so we have him. He's the one who is actually responsible for hacking John Henry Iron's suit and taking it from him. And this is how Lex gets his hands on it. And this is how we're going to see that kind of final showdown with only 2 episodes left. I imagine, and I hope anyways, that we're going to see the boys suit up. And I mean, we could still see the return of Doomsday. He was kind of written out there a couple episodes ago with Lois just kind of pleading with him, please go. You don't have to be a part of this, because I know there's a part of you that still cares for me, being that he cares for the Lois on his Earth, and kind of just connecting with that part of him. And then the last we saw of him, he flew away, and so I don't know if he's going to show back up again. Maybe he shows back up and defends Lois. I mean, I could see him coming in and taking out Lex at the last second, because Clark is just on this death march, more or less. So that would be a very interesting take on it. After Doomsday has since disappeared, that he would show up at the last second to save Lois and to save Clark, if he got to a point where his now human half really starts to take effect, and he just has like maybe a weak moment during a battle scene or something. So I'm really interested to see how they wrap it up, if they're going to involve Tom Cavanaugh or our new Milton Fine Brainiac, or if they're just kind of one-offs to just add a little spice or whatever to the episodes, being that it's the last few episodes of the series. So I'm really excited to see how it goes, but I'm beyond bummed that this show's ending. This show had so much potential, and it displayed that potential time and time again, just with the things that they chose to do, the way that they, the way that they filmed, and just everything about this show is very much different to what we've seen in the past. So it's definitely a shame that we're losing it, but it's been having a very good send-off, in my opinion. There's not been one bad episode of this show, I don't think, ever. It's always been very good acting, very good filming style, very good stories, and just the way they go about it, that nothing about it is like too ridiculous. That's always been my favorite thing. Being a comic book character and being a comic book story, it really kind of has the balance of realism mixed in with how this whole universe is really put together and everything. So anyways, I enjoyed the shit out of this episode. I mean, we've got 2 episodes left, and it will definitely be the end of it. And after that, I don't know what we will look forward to as far as these types of shows, because I don't know of any shows on the horizon for this type of universe. What the CW plans are, I'm pretty sure CW is just done. The DC movie universe, James Gunn keeps talking about how he has the trailer for the new Superman movie on his hard drive. Don't care, not one bit. I am just beyond pissed that they're canceling this show in favor of a new movie and a new universe that will more than likely bomb, just like every other universe before it, because it's rushed. The story is just retold and retold over and over. The work that they put into these shows is not reflected within the movie universe. So it's a very sad day that we're getting to as far as this show ending and us losing these characters and just what they really could have done with it. But anyways, guys, that's my breakdown, my review of the episode. 2 episodes left, and then we'll be done. But I guess that will do it. So if you enjoyed the review, you enjoyed the breakdown, my thoughts about the show, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. So take care. Bye.